My name is Dr. Todd Austin. I'm a chiropractic physician who has been helping many of my patients to quit smoking with auriculotherapy for 3 years now. I'm sure that all of you either smoke cigarettes, have smoked cigarettes, or are related to or are friends with someone who does. Now, I'll admit that as a lifelong non-smoker, I used to have a hard time understanding smokers and why they choose to do what they do. But since attending many auriculotherapy seminars, with a lot of class time devoted to the topics of nicotine, nicotine addiction, and smoking cessation, I'd like to think that now I have a much better understanding as to why smokers smoke. Current research has proven that a large percentage of the U.S. population, well over 50% of us, have a gene that causes us to become easily addicted. Research has now shown that this gene is hereditary and can actually be passed down for up to 7 generations, believe it or not. Now, I'm sure all of you also know at least one person who for the most part is a non-smoker, but has cigarettes just on certain occasions without becoming addicted. For example, Crystal, a patient of mine, is a non-smoker 365 days and 364 nights every year. But on New Year's Eve, Crystal parties hard with all of her friends and even smokes 3 or 4 cigarettes. So what's the main difference, you might wonder, between nicotine addicts and Crystal? Well, Crystal is blessed by the fact that she doesn't have that addictive gene that many of us do. The research also shows that even if you were addicted but gave up nicotine years ago, you can never behave like Crystal does ever again. Because it only takes 6 seconds from the time you've had a single puff of cigarette smoke for the nicotine to hijack a certain area of your brain where the nicotine pleasure center is located. Yes, that's right, in a mere 6 seconds, as a person who possesses the addictive gene, you're hooked all over again. One of the main things I've learned about the psychology of nicotine addiction is that you, the smoker who's considering quitting, has to have arrived at a point between your ears where you are ready to quit for you. Not for your medical doctor, who told you that you might not live much longer if you don't. Not for your non-smoking spouse, who is constantly complaining about how bad you, your clothes, and your car stink. Not for your children or grandchildren, who've been begging and pleading for you to quit as well. Yes, you've got to come to a point where you are ready to give up nicotine for you. Until you've arrived there, there's no hope of you ever quitting. At Austin Family Chiropractic in Verdon, Illinois, I use a combination of counseling, nutrition, and mainly ear acupuncture or auriculotherapy without needles to help people to sever their relationship with nicotine. I'd like to share with you a funny but successful story about one of my chiropractic patients who used to be a smoker. Greg, a rather tough guy who was raised on a farm, had a coworker who quit smoking successfully by getting auriculotherapy treatments from a fellow chiropractor. So this coworker told Greg about the main point on his ear that his chiropractor had treated. When the next calendar year rolled around, Greg's New Year's resolution was, you guessed it, to quit smoking. But rather than call up a chiropractor like myself, who was also an auriculotherapist, Greg chose an extremely unconventional method. He pinched the point on his right ear that his coworker had told him about. Greg did so with such force that it even brought tears to his eyes. It's now been over 4 years since Greg last had a cigarette, and he's much healthier now, thanks to quitting. In closing, there are a variety of ways to quit smoking, ranging from cold turkey to nicotine patches, to prescription drugs, to my obvious personal favorite, auriculotherapy. So whatever method you choose to go with, make sure that you are ready to quit for you before proceeding. And please remember that if you were dealt a hand that includes the addictive gene, even after successfully quitting for many years, you'll never be able to take a single drag from another cigarette ever again. without getting addicted all over. Always keep that in mind. Thank you.